Hi guys, welcome back to the Big Sew Along. For any of you who have not been here before, I'm Ginny, and to everyone, welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. So today, let's get right into it. Last week, I asked you guys, I gave you guys recommendations for I can't remember, 3 or 4 jackets and patterns, and I asked which one you guys would most like to sew, and the majority of people who responded really wanted the Vogue Marcy Tilton, which is Vogue 1817. So that is in fact what we're going to do, and we're going to get started on that in just a minute. We did have a couple of other comments though. Christine suggested Vogue 9334, which is a great pattern. The problem I have with that one is that I've made it twice before. So I don't want to make it again. Although if anybody else is interested in it, I will say it was not a difficult pattern to make. It was pretty fun and it went together pretty nicely. I made my second version in a double-faced wool, and I did all of that. I sewed it together and then sewed the backside together with hand stitching, so that was a lot of stitching and it was a lot of work. So that really turned me off of that pattern forever now, even though I do think it's a great pattern. And Karen suggested Vogue 1246, which is a Lynn Mizono, I can never say her name, a Lynn Mizono pattern. I mistakenly told Karen in the comments that I have that pattern. I do not. I actually have Vogue 1274, which is also a Lynn Mizono pattern. It doesn't really matter. Either of those would actually be great jackets. However, our next sew along, when we're done with our jacket, is going to be a shirt sew along, and both of those patterns would be in my in the running for the shirt sew along. So just keep that in mind. And since I'm saying that now, if you guys have any suggestions for a shirt pattern you would like to see for our next sew along, please leave a comment below so I can do a little research beforehand. Okay. So what we are making is Vogue 1817. And we're going to go through some details here really fast. First of all, I'm going to tell you guys again what the recommended fabrics are and the sizes, just so you know. Fabrics suggested are... I'll read the directions first. I mean, the description first. Their description is a Mrs. Loose-fitting, below-hip asymmetric jacket and vest. Have front button closing, shaped lapped seams, and stitched hems. A has a pieced stand-up collar, and B has a stand-up collar with a folded front edge detail. Long set-in sleeves with a slit, and that's it. The recommended fabrics are cotton flannel, taffeta, jacquard, lightweight brocade, quilting cotton, lightweight denim, lightweight jacquard, and then lining fabric. And unsuitable for obvious diagonals. Okay. All of a sudden my sun seems to be going out. A cloud is passing overhead. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to give you the fabric requirements for the vest first, because the vest calls for 3 different fabrics. And it'll be easier if I just do the vest all at once. So the vest for a size 8, you will need 3 different fabrics. In 45-inch fabric, you're going to need 1 1/4 yards of your main fabric, 7/8 of your first contrast, and 1/2 yard of your second contrast. For the largest size, which is a size 24, you will need 1 1/2 yards, again in 45-inch fabric, of your main fabric, 1 1/8 yards of the first contrast, and 1/2 yard of your second contrast. For 60-inch fabric, size 8, main fabric will be 7/8 of a yard, first contrast will be also 7/8 of a yard, and the second contrast will still be 1/2 yard, I guess. That's confusing. It doesn't give you a fabric requirement for 45-inch fabric for the second contrast. So I'm not sure what that's about. For the largest size, the size 24 in a size 60-inch fabric, you will need 1 1/4 yards of the main fabric, 7/8 of a yard of the first contrast, and again, I assume you would just need a 1/2 yard of the second contrast since they don't give you one. For the jacket, which is all one fabric, for the smallest size, which is size 8, you will need 2 7/8 yards in 45-inch fabric and 2 3/8 yards in 60-inch fabric. For the largest size, the size 24, you will need 3 1/4 yards in the 45-inch fabric, and sorry, did I say it? 3 1/4 in 45-inch fabric and 2 and I think it says 5/8. I actually need a magnifying glass, but I'm pretty sure it says 5/8. 2 5/8 in 60-inch fabric. Okay, so before we go any further, let me give you some more details about that. So version A, which is the vest, you are also going to need 6 3/4-inch buttons. For the jacket, which is view B, you're going to need 5 3/4-inch buttons. This pattern does not call for any interfacing, so I have not used any. Version A, which is the vest, has 18 pieces. Version B, which is the jacket, has 15 pieces, and that is because the collar on version A is 3 or 4 pieces. I can't remember now. It's cut up, and the collar on version B, the jacket, is not, although it does have a sleeve. It seems to me that you could use the collars interchangeably. So if you wanted to put the collar from A on view B and vice versa, I don't see why that would be a problem. Then I've measured, and the necklines on both of the jacket and the vest are exactly the same, so you should be okay with that. However, the body pieces are not the same, and that's because version B has a sleeve. So you can't just slap the sleeve on the vest. It won't fit into the armhole. Yeah. So anyways, actually I go through all of the pattern pieces here in a little tutorial clip, like a separate clip. So I'm just going to run that for you now so you can see all the pieces, and then we'll come back and do some more talking. For the vest, in our main fabric, we're going to need, get this out of the way, piece number 1, which looks like this. And this is, oops, here, let's see this. Yeah, there we go. If you're making the vest, you're going to need piece number 1, which looks like this. And you're going to want all of the following pieces to be in your main fabric. So that's number 1. They say this upper back. Piece number 7 in the main fabric. And just take note that the grain line is here on this, so it's cut at like an odd angle. All of these pieces have a lot of markings. You'll see dots and notches all over the place. So just make sure you get all of your markings. Are going to be really important for putting these together. Okay, so 1, 7, 9, again, this is in our main fabric. This is the upper left front. And number 12, which looks like this. This is a collar piece. Those are all the pieces we need in our main fabric for the vest. In the contrast number 1, we're going to need piece number 2, which is hem facing. Piece number 3, which is the lower right back. Piece number 5, which is the upper right front. Piece number 6, which is another hem facing. Piece number 10, which is the upper side front. Piece number 13, which is a collar piece, and piece number 15, also a collar piece, those are all of our pieces in contrast fabric number 1 for the vest. For contrast fabric number 2, we're going to need 4, piece number 4, which is the lower left back. We are going to need piece number 11, which is the lower left front. And we're going to need piece number 14, which is another collar piece. For the jacket version, we're going to need piece number 2, which is the hem facing again, the same one we used for the vest. Piece number 3, we also used this for the vest. This is the lower right back. Piece number 4, which is the lower left back. Again, this is one we used for the vest. Piece number 6, another hem facing, same as the vest. Piece number 7, the lower right front, also the same as the vest. The pocket, also the same as the vest. And I don't know if I said before, but we are going to need a piece number 16 for both. This is just a bias binding piece, so I actually haven't cut mine out yet, but it's the same for both. Okay, piece number 8. Piece number 11, which is also the same as, it's a lower left front. And this is the same for both the jacket and the vest. Now, for the ones that apply just for the jacket, piece number 19 is our upper back. Piece number 20 is our upper right front. Piece number 21 is the upper left front. Piece number 23 is our collar. And this is the only piece that is cut on the fold. And piece number 24. This is also cut double, but I cut mine separately. I cut it twice separately. But just so you know, obviously you're going to need 2 of these. For this layout, it's actually, I feel like, easier and less wasteful fabric to cut one and then move your pattern piece and cut it again. Okay, so let's just take a look at some of these differences here. The collar in the jacket is a 1-piece collar. The collar in the vest is a 4-piece collar. And it's multiple, like we have all 3 of our prints or fabrics used in this collar. The upper left front for the jacket looks like this. And the upper left front for the vest looks like this. This is the easiest way to show the difference. And you can see there isn't a whole lot of difference. But the jacket definitely has more width here at the shoulder, a higher, tighter armhole. And I'm going to flip this over so you can kind of see. The vest has a wider center front. This is part of the facing. So it's wider on the vest. The length looks like it's, and the neckline look like they're about the same. For the upper right front, this is our jacket version, and this is our vest version. Again, you can see here there is a considerably wider shoulder in the jacket. I think the sides are really about the same, and this curve is about the same, but again, the front on the vest is wider. Okay, we do have an upper side front for the jacket. Good thing I located this. This fell on my floor. This is for the jacket. You're also definitely going to need that. I obviously haven't cut mine out yet. Okay, then the backs, just so you can see, obviously the one under here is the jacket, the one on top is the vest, and the real main difference is this shoulder comes out further. Everything else, I think, on the back is the same. Okay, now that I have my piece number 22 cut out for both the jacket and the vest. Again, I just want to show you really quickly, the difference here is really all in the armhole. Sorry, there we go. The jacket obviously comes up higher and tighter, the vest lower at both the point and around the arm. Okay, you can see there that I did actually lose one of my pieces for version B, the jacket. I lost, I think it's piece 22, the side front. Make sure you get all your pieces. Okay, so let me give you the finished measurements that I have. And these are not printed on the envelope, but they are printed on the pattern. So I have size 8 through 16, so I can give you these finished measurements. Size 8 bust is 38 inches, waist 42 and a half. Size 10 is 39 inches, waist 43 and a half. Size 12 is 40 and a half inch bust, waist 45. Size 14 is 42 and a half inch bust, 47 inch waist. And size 16 is 44 and a half inch bust and 49 inch waist. You don't get a hip measurement on this. Presumably you won't really need one because it's like a poofy little skirt at the bottom. And I apologize for not having finished measurements on the other sizes. Just for reference, I am making a size 14. No, is that right? Yeah, 14, size 14. The bust, waist, and hip measurements on the pattern for size 14 are 36, 28, and 38. My measurements are really closer to 39, 30, and 39. So, because this has a fair amount of ease, the bust on the size 14 is 42 and a half versus the size 36 inch bust on the pattern. So that's a 6.5 inch ease. So just so you guys know, that's roughly what that is at the bust. Okay, that was a lot. So, what else do I have to say about this? I'm going to show you guys. I'm actually making both of these. I'm making view A, the vest, for the store where I work. And I'm making view B, the jacket, for myself. I will be doing the sew along in parts, but most of the body of both pieces is constructed exactly the same. So we'll do the construction of the body, and then the collar and the sleeves will just be separate because one of them doesn't have sleeves and the collars are both different. Aside from the collars and the sleeve, the construction is exactly the same. So when we get to the process of sewing through everything, I'll just make mention of when I'm doing one that's only for view A or view B. When we get to the process of sewing them together, I will let you know when we're doing a piece that is specific to one of the patterns and not the other. Whew. Okay, for view A, my vest, I am using as my main fabric this really beautiful brocade. My friend Susan is really good at mixing patterns and stuff. She works with me at the store, and she picked these together. So this one, and for my contrast fabric number 1, I'm using this brocade. And I'm going to hold them up together so you can kind of see. I think they're really cool together. And then for my contrast 3, I'm using this silk dupioni. It's hard to see in here, but this color, I wonder if I can get this to focus if I go like this. This detail color right here is the same as this. It matches pretty well. So I think that's going to be really beautiful. For my jacket version, I'm using this plain red cotton twill. It's a good medium weight. It does have a little bit of stretch, but not a ton. This was originally a brighter red, and I over-dyed it with a little bit of black dye, which brought the color down a little bit, but you guys will probably see as we sew along, it came out a little splotchy. So there are some spots that look a little weird. I'm okay with that because this is going to be just like a jacket to throw on. This one will be obviously a much fancier piece. Okay, what else was I going to say? So the lining fabric that you need for this pattern, and I'm not sure I told you guys how much you need, but the lining fabric for this pattern, you need 5/8 of a yard for the small size and 3/4 of a yard for the largest size, and that is it's the same for both view A and view B. The lining fabric is only used for the pocket and for the neck binding. So if you have a lighter weight fabric, like I'm using this, the remains of my silk dupe peony, I had just enough left to make my pocket and my neck binding. If your fabric is light enough, you can just, and you have enough, you can just use that. For the red coat, this fabric is a little heavier and it's fine for the pocket, which I did use. I am not going to use it for the neck binding because I think it's a little too thick for that, but I do have a piece of, actually have an old tie of my husband's that is this color of red with dark blue. It's silk, it's really pretty, and I thought it would make a cute detail in the back, so I'm going to use that, which means that I don't have to buy any lining fabric for this piece. So just so you know, that's all that lining is for. It's just the pocket and the neck binding. And I think that's it today, you guys. Next week we're gonna get started, and the first thing we're gonna work on is assembling the back, and I think we can get that all done next week, and then we'll move on from there. We'll assemble the front after that. And I'm really excited to do this, guys. This is going to be really cool. If you are following along and you're you already have your fabrics, or as you get your fabrics, please feel free to post pictures of them over on the Facebook group. I will post pictures of mine, and I will also post, I'll try to remember to post update pictures as we go. And don't forget, if you have suggestions for a shirt sew-along pattern, a shirt pattern for our next sew-along, leave those in the comments below so I can get a little head start on research on those shirt patterns. And that is it for this week, you guys. I will see you all next Tuesday when we start sewing our Marcy Tilton for Vogue 1817. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and spending a little time with me. And until next Tuesday, happy sewing.